Hey, how you guys doing, man? Hopefully everybody's having a good day, man. It's another beautiful day out here in Las Vegas, man. And before going further, I want to thank all you guys who recently subscribed to my YouTube channel. I really appreciate you guys. And as always, it is always peace and love with me, man. Peace and love as always, man. But anyway, in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and turn this camera around, man. I want you guys to actually see what I'm seeing, when I'm out here driving about the city, going from home to home, working with my clients and stuff like that. Today's video is going to be about talking about this young lady. I spoke about her one time in a video where the title of the video was She Only Wanted to Date a White Guy. You know, I run into her yesterday. Today's Friday, so that was Thursday when I run into this young lady here. And this is not about her asking me to find her, a guy to date who's going to really take care of her. This was actually some shocking news that I actually got from her that really surprised me. Because, I've been seeing this young lady now for about almost a year. We have a few clients together. She's a caregiver. She normally goes in, help the patient shower and help the patient dress if the patient have those kind of problems and stuff like that. And she would make the patient breakfast, lunch. It depends on the time of the day that she actually going to see the patient. She was a little mad when I met her, and I saw the look on her face. I said, I'm not really gonna ask anybody what's really going on in their lives, because people like to keep their own private business to themselves. So I proceed to do what I'm doing with the patient. Did what I had to do. She was there. This young lady was there in the home about an hour before me, so she already did what she had to do. But for some reason, she hung around. She waited for me to finish doing what I was doing, and then as I was leaving the home, she proceeded to walk out the door behind me with her, her bag and stuff. We was walking down the hallway. She started talking to me. She said to me that she was, not very happy, so I got a little concerned. I thought maybe she wasn't really feeling well or anything like that. But it really had nothing to do with that. She started to tell me that she wasn't really happy with her husband. And I was very shocked because, it was just recently she was asking me to find her someone. And I was like, man, this girl really worked fast. She already met someone and got married. So I said to her, wow, you finally meet somebody that you got married to. She said, no, I've been married now for a few years. I said, oh, I didn't know that, young lady. She said, well, yeah, I'm not happy with my husband because, he's not really keeping the promise that he made to her, when he brought her from the Philippines to America. Of course, if I'm going to talk to someone to get to know the whole story, man, I'm going to ask some questions, man. So, I asked her, I said, well, how long you been married? She said, oh, she's been married to him now for, 4 years. And I said, well, what's the reason why you're not happy with him? She said, well, he made her a promise in the Philippines that he was a millionaire here in America. And when she comes to America, she don't have to work. But she found out within the first month that this guy wasn't really a millionaire. That he had to go out there and, scrap and scrape just to make a living, just like everybody else. So I said, well, is it just a financial reason why you're not happy, or are there infidelity that's actually going on? She says, no, not really, because, he's an older guy. He can't really. I think you fellas know what I'm trying to say, man. I'm trying to be respectful here on this this family channel here, man. But anyway, she said, no, he can't really, do that type of stuff because, he has, issues, prostate issues. So I said, well, what's the problem? She said, well, I have to work. And I'm not really happy about working. I said, well, if you're not really happy with the man, why don't you just leave and either go back home to the Philippines or just go find somebody else where you can be happy? She said, that's why I ask you to find me someone. So far, she hasn't been able to meet anyone. Fellas, I'm just going to get off the story a little bit and tell you my opinion. The way this young lady is, man, I think any smart person out there, all they got to do is to sit down and talk to this girl for an hour. And you're going to find out that this is not the type of girl that you really want to be with. Because she's all about the dollars. I'm not going to blame her for that. I'm not going to fault her for that, She wants what she wants. But I think for a lot of you fellas out there, man, unless you're super rich and you're looking for a woman just to be on your arm and not do anything, be there with you 24 hours, I don't think none of you fellas going to really mess with a woman like that. But anyway, I'm going to get back to the story here. Her thing is that he promised her that he was going to be able to make sure that her life is great here. She didn't have to work. And he was going to be able to help her family back home in the Philippines. Of course, I'm an older dude. Of course, I'm going to try to give a little advice to a young lady as much as I can. And I said to her, well, you are working, right? She said, yes. And I said, of course, I know you have a car, so you're able to get around from home to home, because Las Vegas, unless you don't have a car, man, it's really difficult to get around in the city. She said, yes, I have a car. I said, well, why don't you go find you an extra job so you can make some extra money, so you can take care of your family back home instead of being mad that your husband is unable to do those things for you. I said, who's paying the bills in the house? She said, he is. I said, who's paying for your car note and the insurance? She said, he is. I said, well, wait a minute. You trying to tell me that this man is carrying all the household bills and he's carrying the car note and the insurance on the car, and you're still unhappy with this man because you have to come out here and work, and because you're not making enough and you're unhappy working, you're upset at him for doing what most women in this world would be looking for from a man. So I think she kind of get a little snarky with me. She says, well, aren't you married to a Filipino? I said, yes, I'm married to a good Filipino, a working Filipino woman who's making her own money and can take care of her own family home. So we don't have an issue there, So she proceeded to say to me, she said, you just don't understand. I said, yes, young lady, I think I understand. I think you're just one of those type of women that you feel because you marry a foreigner and you've been with him now for a few years, and you should know better that your situation is not going to change. You think because you marry a foreigner that you was going to come to America and everything was going to be easy for you. I said, life doesn't work that way. I say, instead of you getting mad and being unhappy, why don't you go out and find you an extra job, like I said to you before, or try to get your skills so you can set yourself up so you can do these things for yourself, instead of getting mad at this man who brought you here, who is taking care of you, and who's doing the things that most men wouldn't do for their woman, and you're just mad because he cannot give you extra money to take care of your family home. She said, well, a promise is a promise, and if you didn't promise me these things, I would have never married him because he's too goddamn old for me. And I'm like, whoa,